Hello everyone, and welcome again to another LEGO Bionicle video. For today guys, we are going to be doing our review on my awesome 2015 Wairuha MOC. And with that said guys, let's get straight into it. So looking at the leg build first, you can see straight away at the bottom I have used Gali and Liwa's feet. Now the reason why I've used them is just because of the fact that with Wairuha G1 or G1 Wairuha, both Gali and Liwa's feet are used. So that's the main reason why. Not only that, with Kopaka, because his feet are white in the 2015 set, it wouldn't really go well together with any of these feet here, but you kind of get the idea, because obviously you can see it's gunmetal and then there is a lighter gray there, so it kind of goes well together with that. Anyway, moving right on up, you can see that I've also implemented a bit of Kopaka there, as you can see. So the typical golden size 5 armor shells that he does have, and of course you can see on the other side as Gali's armor shells as well. Now of course in general with this build here, or the leg build, it's pretty much from Xvia, but I've modified it to my taste as mentioned. So there's a bit of Xvia going on, there's a bit of me. So it's a combination of both, in all honesty, as you can see there. Now what's interesting is that I have implemented and used the two Kopaka feet, of course, right there in the middle, but the only difference is that I've added in this piece right here. Now this piece is connected onto a so as you can see there, it's a small size, it's a small limb piece there. Hopefully you can just see it there guys, and that's what I've used. I don't know, I kind of had to use these pieces, I know, because originally with the stickers it would look a lot nicer, but I just chose to keep them on, so that's what it kind of looks like. So moving right on up, now we're looking at the upper half of the leg. You can see that I've implemented and used the two torsos from Liwa and of course from Kopaka. And not only that, I've also used the chest piece from Liwa and Kopaka, but I've just switched them around just to kind of blend things up a bit, you know, make things a bit more unique and different. So that's kind of the whole idea. Now what's cool about this is these can actually move, so they're kind of like thigh pads or shin pads, which can move up and down, which is great. I have to be honest with you, great articulation there. And if I show you the inner piece there, it's practically connected into that single hole right there, and this is what the piece actually just looks like. So just like that, there is a bowl, there is a, don't know what size this is, but you get the idea, cylinder piece there just to fill in the gap. And then of course the circular pin, which just goes into that hole. And yeah, that's pretty much what those two are for. Like I said, it's just a great idea, so that's what I implemented. Now of course you can also see some more armor shells in the middle part of the leg. Liwa there, Liwa, and just a touch of Gali there. I know that little size 3 kind of looks weird there, but I had to use it somewhere, and that's exactly where I put it. But it's still okay overall. You can also see on the sides, on the upper half, sorry about the image, there you can see I've also implemented more Liwa there, and of course more Kopaka, more Liwa, more Kopaka. So it's just a blend of course older armor shells in the leg build, just to, you know, mix things up a bit, kind of like what I've done with Akamai there. At the end of the day, they're both meant to be the same build. I've tried to build them as similar as I can, since they are similar, of course. They have different powers though, obviously, but I wanted to keep their build, their bulk and structural look similar. So that's the whole idea. So there, as you can see, there is the G1 Wairuha. Now you can see there, if I put them side by side, practically, you know, the same thing. I've tried to imitate the, like I said, I've just tried to imitate the G1 image to the G2, so you can see there is a bit of, you know, Gali there, there's a bit of Liwa there, and then of course a bit of Anua, and that's just the whole idea. You can see I've just mixed it all up together in the G2 set. Of course, at the end of the day, I had to build it to my, you know, the way I wanted it, and that's exactly what I've done. Of course, implementing Xvia's leg build there because it is genius. It's a great idea, but of course I've modified it to my taste, since normally there was a armor shell here similar to Akamai from my set, and from Xvia's build, of course. So I've modified a few things, and I don't know, it just looks great, of course, especially with the thigh pads there, different to Akamai's, I guess, build, since Akamai's, what do you call it, his thigh pads are attached to his torso, while here they're just attached to his legs. So, you know, thinking differently, but kind of trying to give off that same or similar concept. It's just a great idea, different build, and I really like it. Let me know what you all think. So now looking at the torso region, you can see that I've implemented the typical black connector piece that is always found in Wairuha and of course in Akamai, of course talking about the G1 sets here. So that's what I've done. I've tried to implement it there. So there you can see is, I believe, Gali size 5 gunmetal armor shell. I think it's from Gali, I can't remember, but either way, that's there. And then of course, just to add on a bit more detail, I've added on the external armor shells from Liwa, and I think that looks great, of course, at the end of the day, and I really like it. Here, as you can see, guys, are the size 5 white armor shells that I got from Kopaka. I've used it for the sides, and I've also touched on and used the external armor shells from Kopaka as well. The reason why I used them was because just to improvise, use something a bit different, and because at the end of the day, with Kopaka, his lower body is used in the G1 set. So if I just bring in the G1 set again, whoops, and his head fell, oh well. So there, as you can see, at the end of the day, you can see there is Kopaka's body, there's the connector piece, there's Kopaka, there's the connector piece, but then as you can see towards the top we have Gali, and then towards the top you can see we have Gali as well again. So as mentioned with this here, so it's kind of like a battle armor shell which you can move up and down slightly, so that's a great feature that I've kind of implemented. The whole idea is just to kind of slim him down, not make him too bulky, so yeah, that's the whole point. And there you can see, I think it looks great. Of course, sorry about the lighting, guys, because it is in white, so it's a bit hard to see. Maybe if I put my hand in the back there, you guys can just see it there. So that's what it should kind of look like, and I think it looks great though, to be honest. So that's, yeah, that's pretty much that. Then, as mentioned, so there is the Gali torso piece, and here is her chest piece, as you can see there. Nice touch, of course. Now, not only that, I went something just a bit beyond, and something more creative. So there you can see, I know for a fact that with other builds, people typically use these pieces for the shoulders or for whatever. I personally just use them for kind of like side back armor pieces, and that's exactly what I've done, just to give a bit of bulkiness, because if I, well, my apologies guys, if I were to leave that there, it would kind of look too slim and it wouldn't be, you know, enough bulk to Wairuha. So that's the reason why I've implemented that. So there you can see it, guys. I think it looks great. At the end of the day, you can move it to however you want. You can push them out if you really wanted to. Push them, you know, but it kind of leaves a gap there, but it's really up to you. I prefer to keep them inwards like that, compact and close, just to give off that nice armor looking bulk there, just like that. So that's the whole idea, and I think it looks great. Of course, you can see that I've added in the external armor shells there, just because to cover up the gold there a bit, because at the end of the day, I think gold by itself, just placing it with the blend of colors that exist there, wouldn't look too nice. So I guess I can just show you on one side. So here, if I take this off, I don't know, actually you guys can be the judge. So if I show you it from there, you can see that's what it looks like on one side, as you can see there, and then here is what it looks like on the other side. Let me know what you guys think. At the end of the day, I guess it's personal preference, but this is what I've chosen to do, as you can see there. Something else great I've also implemented, guys, is of course the typical size 5 armor shells from Gali. Now the reason why I have used those up there, just to replicate at the end of the day the same image, of course, as you can see there with Gali. Sorry about the blur there, but you can see with the upper half of her body in Wairuha, it is being used, and that's what I've done there. So the armor shells, torso, and the chest piece there, and I guess possibly a bit of Kopaka there, and I don't know if Gali has these external armor shells. I don't think so, but anyway, that's the whole idea. You can still get some great articulation, of course, with the head, so the armor pieces don't hinder any movement. So that's great, of course, at the end of the day, so then you can get some nice poses, and yeah, I think it looks great. Not only that, I've also added in these awesome wings. Now these wings, guys, are only for temporarily flying. I know with rollout reviews, he used wings, and of course I think he got that from other people, but I personally thought that's not the right way of thinking. Since he is big, I don't think they have the capabilities to fly. Well, he almost fell there. I think that they can temporarily fly, maybe even just for 10-20 seconds. So of course, once he jumps, of course they have super capabilities, so they can jump up really high, and then with his wings he's able to soar in the air for about maybe 20-30 seconds before he has to jump back down. So it's kind of like temporarily flying. Think of it like Mario when, not Mario, what's a good example? I don't know, like just anything that can jump and then and it comes down really slowly, if you kind of get what I mean. So that's the whole idea with Wairuha, but possibly he might be able to fly even longer, but I don't know. That's the whole idea, and I really hope you all like it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. So looking at articulation in the legs, you can see there is a lot of articulation in the legs, and I really like it, guys. It looks great. Of course, there are no pieces hindering it from, you know, obviously moving back, but forward, of course, at the end of the day, it is because of the armor shell here from Kopaka, but still great range of motion. And as mentioned, you can move these armor shells here, which is obviously great, and I really like it. However you want, left to right, but of course centered and push it downwards, it looks a lot nicer in the end. But as you can see there in the back, I had to implement, of course, the leg gear function, and that's exactly what I've done. So that's there, and not only that, you can also see I've added in just a small size 3 Gali armor shell. It's in the trans blue, and then just finishing it off with Kopaka's white external armor shell, just to cover up a bit of space there. And you know, of course, he looks a bit bare, but I couldn't add anything else since a lot of pieces are in the way, and yeah, it didn't really work out well, to be honest. But there you can see is the leg gear function, and here is the upper gear function. So double gear function at the top, as always, have to follow the G1 sets, and then here is the bottom. As you can see there. Quickly show you the leg build from the back. There you can see is the gear function. Of course, I'll show you that very soon. So here is the leg build, as mentioned, pretty much similar to Xvia's and to Akamai, to my 2015 Akamai MOC, but modified it just a little bit. And there, of course, as you can see it. Now, just to show you the gear function, if I just zoom out there you can see. So here is the gear function. So it works pretty well, guys, as you can see there. Smooth, as mentioned, just like Akamai. But I think just because it has just a few more less pieces, maybe that's why it's a lot easier to move, but still great at the end of the day. So there you can see it, and then of course from the front there, of course, you can see also the gear function. So here to show you again from a distance, there you go, just like that. Oh, and then one of them has stopped working. Well, that's not good. Oh, it's because the pieces have come out. There we go. Just like that. So you guys get the idea. Gear function works very nicely. Here now we are looking at the left arm. You can see I've implemented a lot of Kopaka there. So a lot of his armor shells and just a touch of Gali there, as you can see with the size 3 armor shell. And there's a little size 3 white shell there, but size 5 in the middle. And of course you can get some good range of motion. So there, lifting it right up, lifting it right down, lifting it right up, so that's great, of course. And overall great articulation. The gear function works really well, and I'll show you that very soon. Here, same thing applies on the other hand as well. So there you can see is a lot of Liwa used. So there's this external armor shell, the size 4 armor shells in the green, and of course in the touch of yellow there. So all one side is Liwa, one whole side is Kopaka. Exact same concept to Akamai, where I used Anua for one side and Tahu for the other. As you can see, guys, is his first weapon, and it is held in his left hand. It is known as the shield / axe. Now why? Because of the fact that you can see there is Liwa's weapons here. So here are the swords. Now at the end of the day, this can be transformed into an axe based at the bottom there. You can see of course it's Liwa's axe there. It can be switched and flipped over, and from there he can use it as an axe however he wants to, but its main purpose is to be a shield, of course, at the end of the day, since the G1 Wairuha does have a shield. Now the shield works by Kopaka's arms. So the arms kind of release a power and provides the shield around this whole weapon here, and I guess that's how he would typically have the shield when he's in battle. So that's the whole idea there, and I think it looks great. So I implemented a lot of all 3 of the sets there, just a touch of Kopaka, but mainly Liwa there, and just a bit of Gali as well. So of course you can move the shield at the end of the day. let me know what you guys also think of it. So there, you can move it at the end of the day and get some nice turning, because obviously it's held in by a axle piece, a circular axle piece, so that's why it's able to turn. And of course, I think it looks great at the end of the day. So there you can see it on the inside, just like that. And I'm having a problem with this set because it keeps falling over. That's the one thing I don't like about the set. The legs are a bit unstable because there is no connector piece holding it really in place. So it's typically because of the axle piece there. There is no pin stopper there, so it's kind of hard to hold it in place, which is really annoying. Of course, guys, as you can see in his right arm, another great weapon there is of course his ice sword. Now this is a great weapon to have, since Kopaka does have this weapon, as we all know, in the G1 Wairuha, and that's what I've implemented there. And of course there's just a touch of I think that's Ghali's weapon, part of her weapon, just at the end there. I've also implemented that, which is great, as you can see there. So pretty standard. It's pretty much just like the fire sword, except I didn't add in the Kanohis. I just left it how it was, and I just added in the brain stocks just for added power, because I didn't have the extra pieces that I needed from the set in order to add in the two Kanohis. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's the whole that's the reason why I didn't do that. So there you can see is the weapon, guys. I think it looks great. Standard weapon, of course. At the end of the day, he needs a big weapon, and that's exactly what I've provided him with right here, as you can see. So pretty standard. It doesn't have to be too fancy at the end of the day. Remember, guys, because it's an ice sword. I don't know how you can really modify an ice sword, but yeah, I think it looks great. And not only that, you can see there another piece that I used from another, of course, from outside the set, but still overall it looks great. And then at the end of the day, I just touched on and used that piece there just as an added feature in case anything happens to his ice swords. He has that as backup. Now finally, just to show you the gear function and a comparison with, of course, Wairuha, not with Wairuha, with Akamai himself. So there you can see with the left arm, there's the gear function there. It works really well, of course, at the end of the day. Very smooth, and it just looks great at the end of the day. So I really like it. Of course, at the end, you want good gear functioning. If you don't, then I guess that kind of defeats the whole purpose of the set. And yeah, that's pretty cool. So you can see it's just held in by just a yellow gear there, as you can see. But anyway, moving on to the right arm, same thing applies. There you can see, of course, it's kind of hard to articulate this one because the weapon's a lot heavier, but still, you can still get some good range of motion, just a bit. But hey, I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. I think if you just push a bit harder, you can just get it higher. So yeah, it requires a bit of force, but you can still get some good gear functioning in this set. So of course, guys, as you can see there they are together. Now at the end of the day, as mentioned, you can see that they have the exact same height. Of course, different color scheme, different weapons overall. He has a shield there. There is his club. There is his fire sword, and of course, just in the corner there, you can see the ice sword. So at the end of the day, they have very different builds. And of course, different pieces as well, to be honest. But at the end of the day, I really like them both. However, I personally like Akamai, just because he was kind of my own creation there, other than the leg build. But I just like the upper half of his body. Just the whole area looks great. His weapon looks great. I love a Wairuha too, but in all honesty, because there are very limited pieces in comparison to Wairuha, it's quite hard, to be honest, to get anything really nice out of Wairuha. Unfortunately, it's kind of like typical with I guess these smaller sets. You get smaller, you know, a smaller quantity of pieces, and yeah, so it's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, it still looks great. So you can see there, I don't know, I just like the fact that they're both the same height, because I know for a fact with the Nuvas, with the Akamai Nuva and of course Wairuha Nuva, Wairuha Nuva is super small, and that's quite interesting. I don't know why that is the fact, but it's just weird. I find that personally. But yeah, I think that is pretty much my review done. In my next video, please stay tuned for that. I'm gonna do a of course a size comparison with all the other sets. The reason why I'm not going to be doing it in this video is just because it's kind of irrelevant, since this is mainly to do with Wairuha and not with Akamai. So just to show you one last time, at the end of the day, you can see I've tried to replicate a lot of the G1 to the G2. So the lower half of the body, you can see with the legs, sorry, Kopaka, Liwa, and a bit of Anua there. Exact same thing I've done here, a bit of Liwa, a bit of Kopaka, and of course, a bit of gali there. So it's just a mixture of all. You can see there is the connector piece just in the corner there. Exact same thing I try to replicate here. There you can see is Kopaka's body piece in the G1. I've tried to do that here with a bit of Kopaka, using the lower half as, of course, skirting, and just a bit of body armor there as well. There you can see at the top is gali. You can see there's Gali's chest piece and her torso piece. I've tried to implement that here, of course, since that is meant to be a chest piece there, using Gali's hooks and of course her connector piece in the blue. And then typically I just used the miru. As you can see there, the great miru is of course on the G1, and then here you can see I have the Mask of Jungle, and at the end of the day it looks great. I really like it. Let me know what you all think of it. At the end of the day, it's really up to you what you guys think. Of course, personal preference, or either Akamai or Wairuha. What can it be improved in Wairuha? Please let me know, guys. I'd really like to know. And then of course, just to show you that I've tried to replicate the shield. So there's Kopaka's shield. I've tried to replicate that here, and his head. I hate almost the G1 sets with these headpieces are annoying, but there you can see, of course, is the axe and the sword, and I've just tried to replicate the sword there on his right arm. Like I mentioned, a bit of the axe going on with the shield there, so it's a mixture of both. And I guess that's just the whole idea. And so there you have it, guys. There is my review on my 2015 Wairuha MOC. I really all hope you have enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments below what you all think of it, guys, because at the end of the day, your comments are important to me, and what you all think of it. At the end of the day, I made this set to the best of my ability. As mentioned, I was limited to quite a few pieces. I had to use 15 pieces from just, you know, other sets and all that other stuff. So that's that. But anyway, overall, I think the set looks great. Great proportionality in the body towards the legs as well. Similar to Akamai, as mentioned, they both have a similar bulk, and that's the whole idea I try to portray. And of course, try to keep them the same height, because at the end of the day, they are two warriors, very similar. They're meant to be in terms of their height, their build, everything. Obviously, we all know that he has different powers. He's got the ability of water, jungle, and of course, ice, and other capabilities. But still, looks great. I really like it. Let me know, as mentioned, guys, what you guys think in the comments below. You know, is it good? Is it bad? Does it need improvement? I know, of course, it could need some really good improvements, especially in the leg build. The leg build is quite unstable, unfortunately. It still is held in because it has the friction pieces, and it's held in by quite a few connector pieces, so that's trying to hold it in place. But the friction pieces are there just to prevent any movement, so it doesn't fall flat onto its you know, face. So yeah, that's the whole idea there. But anyway, guys, with that said, thank you again so much for watching my video. I really hope you have enjoyed this. If you have, please smash that thumbs up button, and of course, as always, please subscribe to my channel. If you haven't enjoyed it, please let me know why. I'd like to know in the comments below, of course, at the end of the day. Not only that, please check out my other videos, guys. I have many other videos out there. I have my Brawler Makuta, my Overlord Makuta build, my reviews, all that other jazz. Please check it out if you haven't. Of course, many nice videos for you to watch. With that said, guys, please stay tuned for more awesome videos to come. I have a lot more to do, of course, from the G1 sets, and yeah, that's pretty much it. My next video will be a comparison video showing you Wairuha and Akamai against other foes, possibly if they did fight against each other, Brawler, Overlord, or even the Shadow Titan, or even Umarak maybe. I have the Makuta Pterodax, and I'll show you that as well. Anyway, guys, have a great day. Thank you again so much for watching. I will be talking to you all very soon. Bye bye.